Good day everybody, welcome to Strongman Saturday. It's Saturday the 16th of July and I thought I'd do a voiceover recording for today's session. Today's session, you can see I'm working with the barrel today, and the session I'm doing today is essentially picking the barrel up and walking with it. I'm walking with it as far as I can go, or as many laps up and down as I can do in 10 minutes. And then I'll have a 3-minute break, and then I'll do another 10 minutes. And the idea in that second 10 minutes is to try and walk further than you did in the first 10 minutes. So it's an endurance mindset challenge workout. Every time I put the barrel down, I'm going to add in 5 burpees. So the incentive obviously is to keep trying to walk as far as you can with that barrel without putting it down. But if I do put it down, I'll do 5 burpees and then pick it up and go again. You'll see that I'm carrying the barrel on my shoulder or over the shoulder. The barrel itself is quite heavy. It's 40 kilos or 90 pounds. There's no handles on there that you can hold. So trying to carry it in front of me was just not going to happen. It just slides out your hands. So I decided for this, I would go with an over-the-shoulder carry, which is a little bit easier, certainly easier on the hands, but it's still very hard on obviously the shoulder and the neck and the back, and particularly your core, because you're trying to support that weight as you walk along. You'll see there I've dropped the barrel first time, so I think I got up and back and then up and almost back again. So now I'm doing 5 burpees to as a punishment, I guess, for putting it down and to make sure that I don't rest, and then I'll pick it back up and we'll start walking again. A shout out to Emevas, or as I know him, the Punisher, Jared Miller. This was a workout that he mentioned on the T Nation forum this week, and I think it's actually originally a workout that Brian Allsrew did, who also used to be on the T Nation forum. A guy who was originally on there as Alpha many years ago, but Brian's now got a really cool sort of strongman training YouTube channel. And he does a lot of conditioning work as well as some good strength work. But Jared was talking about this workout this week on the forum and talking about doing some work himself with his keg. He's got a big keg, and that put the workout in my mind. And so salute Jared, salute Emevas. This is a bad idea that I got from you, and I said I was going to give it a go this weekend, and here's the video. So I hope you like it. So coming back there, I think that's the second sort of a set, if you like, or the second amount of walking. Come down, gone back, and I'm going to go back and come back again. And you're really just trying with this one is just to try and endure the pain of that barrel pushing down on your shoulder and your neck. It's quite hard to breathe, obviously, when you're trying to support that weight, and you're just trying to just keep taking as many steps as you can and keep going for as long as you can before you have to put it down. So while that's playing, I thought I'd answer some questions. I've had a few questions lately, particularly about how I'm feeling after super squats. I know in a lot of my videos I've talked about some pain in my knees and my hips and not feeling 100%. And I've had a lot of questions asking me kind of how that's going, how I'm feeling, how the training is going after super squats. I would say I'm about 6 weeks now post super squats, and I've just finished a full training block since super squats. And I would say that my legs now are getting a lot better. My knees are still a little bit sore, my hips are still a little bit sore, but I'm probably at about 80-90%. I had to cut the squat weight and volume back a little bit at the end of this training block. I had a deload week this week and just did some really light squats, just some light technique work, and that's helped a lot. And I've also been doing a lot of foam rolling, massage, stretching, all that type of stuff. And the legs now are pretty good. The muscles themselves, there's no muscle pain whatsoever. it's really just tendon, ligament, that connective tissue that was sore and I'm guessing a little bit swollen from all of the squats. But they're definitely getting there and they're getting better. So not 100%, but getting close to back to normal. The rest of my body's fine. Shoulders, back, chest, everything else is really good. And I've had a pretty good productive training block on deadlift and bench press, so no issues there whatsoever. Bench press is feeling really strong post super squats, and deadlift's coming along nicely considering you don't really do a lot of deadlift movements in the super squats. You'll see on the video, I think I'm now only walking up and back once. So I started managing to do 2 trips, and then as the sort of fatigue sets in and starts to hurt a little more, narrowed it down then to only doing 1 up and back each time before I had to put it down, and then doing those 5 burpees and going again. Another question I've had is around training. What's next for training? What's the focus? So for the next training block, the focus is still going to be on deadlift as the primary move, and then bench press will work as normal, and squats in the next training block I'm going to cut the weight right down and work on some techniques. So I'll be doing lower weights on squats, slow reps, probably some paused reps, maybe some reps with a band, just to really focus on the technique and again give those ligaments and tendons and stuff just a little bit longer to heal fully. But that technique work and focusing on that will help when I then go back to upping the weights in the post that block, in the later blocks this year. And the focus will be on deadlift. Will increase the amount of deadlift I'm doing, and bench press will just continue as normal. We'll progress it slightly in terms of weight. It's running very well at the moment, so I want to maintain that momentum for the bench. But the primary focus for the next 5 weeks will be deadlift again, just trying to increase that as much as I can. You'll see there I drop the barrel inside at a point where I can't really even control putting it down. It's starting to get pretty heavy at this point. The body is sore. It's really pushing down on your shoulder and your stomach and your ribs, your lower back as you're walking, and obviously you're trying to breathe. And as you go further and further through the 10 minutes, your breathing is becoming more and more laboured. It's becoming more difficult. So doing my 5 burpees there. That's my punishment. And then getting ready to go again. Taking a little bit of a break between that rep and this one, breathing just at that point, really out of breath, and the pump in your kind of shoulders and arms from holding that barrel up. You just feel like you've got to stop, otherwise you can't get the thing back up to walk again. Now the idea, as I said earlier on, the idea with this workout is to do as many laps as you can within that 10-minute time. But the focus is to beat that the second time. So even though you're more fatigued, you push yourself to try and do an extra lap or an extra step, even just something more in the second 10 minutes than you did in the first. So again, completely dropped the barrel, can barely hold it up at that point. And I think I get out the way because my neighbour's pulling out now. I think he's actually going off to the gym. I think he goes and does an F45 fitness session on a Saturday morning. So he was watching me walk up and down with my barrel, probably shaking his head thinking I'm a crazy man. Again, just doing the 5 burpees. Barrel's gone down, got to do the burpees. and then the timer goes off. So that's 10 minutes done. I have a 3-minute break now, and we'll come back. We'll talk a bit more as I work through the second half of the video. Okay, welcome back everyone. I cut out the 3-minute rest. Pretty boring just watching me walk around trying to get my breath back. And this is now the start of the second half of the workout. So second lot of 10 minutes. And like I spoke about already, the concept or the idea of this is to try and do more in the second half of the workout than you do in the first half. Sounds like a difficult thing to do. You're already quite fatigued, obviously your muscles are starting to get sore. Your lungs have been working pretty hard in that first 10 minutes. But knowing that you were able to do a certain amount in the first half kind of gives you a target to aim for, and that seems to make it easier. So as I started this second 10 minutes, this is the first time walking up and down in the second half. I knew that I could do up and down twice before I had to put the barrel down, because that's how I started the workout for the first 10 minutes. So in my mind, I just had to do a run. The first run had to be 2 laps, and I got that 2 in. It was starting to hurt by the end. And then now I'm thinking, okay, get through these burpees, a little bit quicker, and take just a little bit less rest time or breathing time before you pick the barrel back up, because that will give me a chance to get more work in and beat the number of rounds that I did. So in the first 10 minutes, I managed to walk up and down 7 times with that barrel in the time. And so I've already done 2 rounds in that first set, if you like, up and back twice. And I'm thinking now, in the first one I did 2 rounds on the first set and 2 rounds on the second set. So already now, as I pick the barrel up, in my mind I have to go up and back twice, because if I don't, I know I won't beat the number of runs that I did last time. So that's what's in my mind as I'm walking with it now. This is the first kind of lap, and in my mind I'm just thinking I have to do 2 laps with this, because that's what I was able to do last time, and there's no reason why I can't do that again this time. And if I'm going to beat the number of laps that I did last time, I have to do 2. So there's 1, no hesitation, just turn around, start walking, and it's hurting with every step. Further than 1 round, it's starting to dig in, the lungs are burning, particularly the sort of lower back abdominal area from trying to support that weight, and obviously the shoulders and arms, because they're kind of holding it in place. This is getting hard now. It's getting towards the end of the second run, but I'm just telling myself that barrel cannot go down until I get to the end. Yeah, looking pretty tired there. I was pretty happy to put the barrel down at that point, but again, pushing myself straight over. Like, don't stand there and wait, get straight into the burpees. The quicker I can get through those burpees, again, take slightly less rest, and then I should be able to move through hopefully more rounds or more laps than I did. So now I've done 4 laps. I've been up and down twice, 2 times. The burpee's done. Suck in some oxygen, bit of a stretch. And then keep moving again, because you know you're on the clock, and you know you're trying to do more rounds than you did last time. So this is round number 5. And I think this is the point where I just work in single rounds or single up and backs. It's getting pretty hard at this point. But mostly, I think at this point, the breathing aspect of it and that supporting the weight through the core, it starts to really hurt. I guess you're trying to breathe and you're trying to support at the same time, and it just becomes more and more difficult as you become more fatigued. So again, round 5, I really want to stop and just lean over that barrel and suck in oxygen and breathe. But I know that I've got to get moving, because if I don't, I won't get more rounds than I did in the first 10 minutes. Sucking in air, just trying to will myself to just get moving again. But I know that if I don't suck in that bit of oxygen and I start again, I might not get all the way up, all the way back with the barrel. So it's kind of a trade-off between moving quickly and having to put it down too many times. If I have to put it down too many times and all those extra burpees, I won't get the laps in. So it's a bit of a gamble to get the rest in so I can move quickly through the laps, but not getting so much rest that I kind of run out of time and don't get more laps than the previous 10 minutes. So I think that's number 6. Puffing hard at this point. Actually got to the point on those last probably 3 or 4 runs, that was number 6. What I was doing was counting steps in my head, but only counting every time my kind of left foot went forward. So, and I was counting just to 4. So I'd kind of count left foot 1, right foot, I wouldn't count left foot 2, right foot, I wouldn't count left foot 3, right foot, I wouldn't count left foot 4, and that was 4. And then I would go back to 0 and count from 1 again, and count 4, 4, 4, 4, and kind of just break the trip up into little steps or little sets, or whatever you want to call it, increments of 4 double steps. And by doing that, that strategy enabled me just to sort of keep moving forward. So in my head now, and still go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and do that all the way. And that enabled me to sort of just focus on the next step or the next 4 steps, and trying to kind of block out the fatigue and the pain, and block out the little voice inside your head that's saying, I think you've had enough, put that thing down, it's starting to hurt, you're going to injure yourself if you keep going, that type of thing, and you just got to block that out. And so counting out in small increments was an easier way for me to do that. So I think that one was number 7. Which matches the number that I did in the first 10 minutes. Getting through those burpees quickly, and then don't have as much of a rest, because I know here that I'm running out of time and I need to move again if I'm going to get more in than the previous 10 minutes. Go again. counting them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just keep moving, keep breathing. Just focus on the next step. And block out that horrid little voice that's in your ear telling you that you're knackered and you've had enough and it's a bad idea and why you're doing it. And just keep going. I think the timer goes off before I actually get to the end of this. I think this is the eighth round for this 10 minutes. But I finished the run anyway, and I finished the burpees even though the timer's gone. Said if it goes down I do burpees, so finish the 8th one and then do the 5 burpees to finish. And that's the end of the workout. So 10 minutes, 3-minute rest, another 10 minutes, try and beat or go further in the second 10 minutes than you did in the first 10 minutes. And I was pretty pleased with that, an extra full run. Even though I was extremely fatigued. But knowing what you've got to beat definitely helps kind of push yourself to do more than you did the previous time. So it's a great workout if anyone wants a mindset challenge. It doesn't have to be a 90 kilo barrel. You could carry a decent sized rock. You could carry a couple of heavy dumbbells, 1 dumbbell in each hand. But you just carry something as far as you can in 10 minutes, have 3-minute break, and then try and carry it further the second time round. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's it from me on Strongman Saturday. As always, I'm done.